Good evening, everyone, and we just wanted to welcome you to our 60th episode.
Yay! We made it so
We
far.
made 60 episodes with you of the Londonderry View, and we are really excited. We can't imagine that 60 different productions we've already had, and we look forward to 60 more. So tonight we have a very
ambitious.
very ambitious.
I love
We'll be zooming, and but tonight we have with us Mike Malaguti, who is our acting town manager, and we welcome him, and we're going to get to know Mike better and hear about the great things he's doing and has planned. And but before we start tonight, we just wanted to talk about something that's really on the forefront right now in our town, and that's dog registration. And Mike and I kind of discussed this before, that we just wanted to take a minute to stress to everyone, and if you can help us, that would be phenomenal. The month of April is dog registration throughout the state, and there are state laws that mandate this. So it's something that if you have a dog, we need to know about it. And it's for your safety and your dog's safety, but also for everyone else that's out and about in our town. And it's a very minor fee of $7.50 for most dogs, $3 for seniors, and you have the whole month to do it. So we're asking that you do come in. And the other thing is if you could let us know if a dog has passed away, sadly, or if maybe the dog has moved or is no longer in your care, because then we won't keep bugging you with all of our little cards. So that's part of our message that we wanted to get out there today. And Mike, would you like to add anything to that?
Well, I would just add, Sherry, that first of all, thank you everybody for having me. It's kind of exciting I finally made it. I'm on the Londonderry View, so I can check that one off the list. I was the prosecutor for the police department before I stepped into this role, and what I can tell you, and I've worked with Sherry over the years on this, is if you don't register your dog, it sets off this process that, and you start receiving these kind of scary sounding notices about civil forfeitures and the court process, and so we don't like to go there. I know that you don't like to go there with folks, but it's really important to get those dogs registered, and I can tell you that Sherry and her office are very helpful, welcoming, will guide you through that process, and so just ask that everybody follow the law and get that taken care of.
Perfect, that's right. And we do have a rabies clinic coming up, and Aaron and Drew are going to make sure that that's out there for us. It's going to be this Saturday, right behind our town hall, in the town hall, from 10 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock. Really helps a lot of people. It's difficult to get into vets right now. So if you need to get a rabies shot, come and see us. We'll be there. Dr. Myrna from Londonderry Animal Vet is going to, she's amazing. Second year, she'd done this many years before that too. But please come on out if you can and help us to spread the word. Mike and I have another concern too, though. We're seeing a lot more dogs that are off leash and attacking other dogs. We actually had a dog where another dog really severely harmed a puppy. So we really need to be diligent about making sure that our dogs are under our control at all time, and preferably on leash, depending on where you are. So that's something else that we're getting more and more cases every day of people being attacked, dogs being attacked. Even if you're just simply frightened by another dog that's off leash, it shouldn't happen. And throughout our town, all towns, you should be able to walk with your baby, with your dog, and not be concerned about another dog coming up off their property or on the sidewalk that causes you a problem. So it's something else we've been looking at too.
Is there a leash law?
Well, that's a great question.
That's a great
so I'll put my
Thank you,
lawyer
Bonnie.
hat on, Bonnie, and thank you for teeing that one up for me. Yes, well, there is a leash law. It doesn't require that your dog, and this is in New Hampshire, but also in Londonderry, doesn't require that the dog be on the leash, but that it is under your control. And so there's a very specific definition of what under control means. It means that the dog is, based on your presence or your voice, is responding, and that you can pull that dog back if you need to. And so, some of the situations that you and I have heard about, the dog is off, 500 yards up the trail. That dog probably is not under your control. And as you said, Sherry, we've seen some really unfortunate outcomes in these cases, with other dogs unfortunately getting pretty badly hurt or even killed, but also people just getting rattled and knocked over, and so we don't want that for sure.
Exactly, right. So that's, help us to spread that word to everyone if you can. And the other thing we've noticed too, it used to be when one dog had a little fight with another dog that, the neighbors would handle it among themselves, but we're seeing more and more lawsuits. So important, if this happens to you, that your dog is registered, because that's the first question. They'll call our office and they want to know, is that dog registered? Has it had its rabies shots? And then again, you want to avoid lawsuits because it's going beyond the police department now.
That's right, and I'm a dog lover, but some people don't love dogs jumping up on them.
Right.
Another situation is a lot of people have dogs that, based on their upbringing or just the breed, don't react well to other dogs, kind of right up in their face. And so, just be mindful of it. Be mindful of the fact that not everybody, even if your dog is really friendly, wants that dog right on top of them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
100. I mean, I don't do any walking because there's loose dogs.
You're
And
absolutely
There are
right.
people who don't follow.
And I have a dog. It isn't that I don't have a dog, but you get kind of nervous. You don't know what the dog
right.
is going to do.
Bonnie, you really
So
do.
be a responsible dog owner.
On every level, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for this little bit of time for Mike and I to share that. Keep in
Very
mind the
good.
rabies clinic, Saturday, 10 to 1. Hope to see you there, and thank you for spreading the word with us.
Now,
too.
Sherry, was it a good turnout the last 2 years?
Thank you so much, an exceptional turnout. And that's why this year we extended it by an hour, because we literally had cars lined up. I should also give a shout out to David Carver, who is our animal control officer, and he's been phenomenal in helping bridge, between our office and the police department and getting the word out there. And it's his job and position to give citations, to talk to people about their dogs. He's one of the nicest, most personable people, but we just have to take control of all of this. So, and then to Christine Genti too, who's in my office, who's really been taking the lead on this for us, and 4,500 registered dogs in Londonderry. So
Wow.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that
4,000 before COVID, and then with COVID, the influx of people getting puppies. That's when we got Gigi.
Yeah.
So absolutely, but they all need to be registered. So. Yeah, thank you. So, Mike, now that I've taken up all this time with dog registration, tell us about your journey and law and being the prosecutor in town, and now our town manager role. So,
Well,
yes.
thanks again, Sherry, for the welcome. It's you have been just great, and not only you, but everybody around town hall and out and about as well have just been really supportive. I'm a lawyer, as I said. I was the prosecutor for the police department for 3 or 4 years. And before that, I was in private practice. I did a lot of litigation. I did a lot of estate planning, some real estate work. And so this is not where I saw myself sitting.
Different ballgame.
A different ballgame. So it's all worked out very well. I'm happy to be here. I went from being in court and talking to people about dogs and
Right to
DUIs and things like that, and now I'm talking about potholes and Old Home Day, how much snow, but it's all really good stuff.
Exciting.
So
And just for the viewers' sake, you're acting town manager. Is there a large difference between acting town manager and town manager?
That's a great question. As you know, Kathy, Kevin left back in February. The council needed somebody to step in right away, and so what they did is under our town charter, appointed an acting town manager for up to 120 days. And so I think we're just about 60 days into that now, and it's going well. But yes, to answer your question, there is a difference between an acting and a permanent town manager.
it's temporary.
Temporary.
Yes. Yeah. What's been your favorite part of the job besides working?
Well, working closely with you, Kirby.
Kirby?
Right answer.
I think it's working as part of a team. The town hall family, but also the police, the fire, the cable people, the senior people.
Senior people.
Uh,
I don't know how I should take that one.
it's all everybody's working in the same direction and really for the same goal. And something that has really impress me is the fact that people say, oh, government employees, gosh, they must sit around and drink coffee all day. Nothing could be further from the truth.
No.
We have a great group of employees here. They all go above and beyond on a regular basis. I know that you've seen that, and that you've seen that, Kathy, and hopefully our residents see that. So that's it's as somebody who sort of has that imposter syndrome. It's like, gosh, I really got myself in deep this time. Having that support from the great folks around Town Hall has really made a difference.
You've had positive, what do you call it?
Input?
From
Absolutely.
people from the public too.
Well, it's in that also makes a difference. One of the things that I think that is sort of a goal for me is to be not more transparent, but to talk more openly about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because I think that, frankly, government could do better doing that. And it sort of takes the space away from people to wonder, well, gosh, they must be up to no good, or
We're
maybe they're
hiding
not doing
something.
anything, or maybe they're
Yeah.
hiding something.
Yep.
It sort of addresses that, and of course, there's always going to be people who think that government can do better. We can, but by and large, I think we do a good job. With the taxpayers' dollars, making sure that we only buy what we need.
Yep.
Is something that's important.
And you've been very good about reinforcing that with us, like already, and it's only been a short time, but you've sent many emails stating that, like, really think about the purchases that you're making, and do we need it, and which is helpful because we all need that reminder, so. That's been great, and I think it's just so helpful too that you had that 4 years as our prosecutor. So we know you, we know how you work, we respect your work, and you know the employees and many of the residents. So it's not like you're just coming in cold, which I think has been a huge help to all of us.
Well, it's beneficial for me too, because I can't imagine showing up on day one
Being like, hey, by the way,
yeah,
here you go.
What does a
Here's
town
the
manager
town.
do?
And you worked closely with Kevin too the last year or two as
I
well.
did.
On the town side.
For at least three or 4 years.
Yeah.
More as the years went on that I've worked for Londonderry. I was a prosecutor, but I also did a lot of municipal work as well, working with Kevin and Lisa, the assistant town manager, and sort of seeing how the job is done.
That's right.
So, and Kevin did a good job transitioning you too.
He did.
did a very
He's
good job.
off to bigger and better things.
Yes, let's hope. So what has
Fingers
been
crossed.
the most challenging part for you in the transition period?
I think that that's a great question. The
Don't
most,
say working with Kirby.
well,
That would be the wrong answer.
I was thinking that too, Kath. It's like, oh.
yeah, I'll come
Although
in.
I will have to agree with that.
I'll come in tomorrow. Why won't my office door key work? My computer won't turn on.
My mouse isn't working.
The challenge with, I think, the biggest challenge is just kind of acting deliberately. The volume of work, the volume of information that comes my way is so much that you can sort of get bogged down. And it becomes difficult to think strategically and deliberately. And so what I've really emphasized is setting aside time to just think and to try to do things in a coherent way as opposed to just reacting. It's a challenge. It's a work in progress.
You're doing good.
But that's
see it
that's been
firsthand.
the biggest challenge, I would say.
Yeah. What has been your favorite part? The
Um,
new office?
well, yes,
Yeah,
of
that
course,
answer
yeah.
is going to be working with Kirby.
Yeah, no, I think I already asked that, but like your absolute favorite, like in terms of the different departments that you've worked with so far that you didn't necessarily work with before.
Well, one, I mean, I'm going to offend people by who I don't mention here, but one
Well-
person I will mention is Dave Wally.
Oh yeah.
Our new
yeah,
Public Works
he's
Director. I think
Very
you
good.
guys have met him.
Oh,
He's done
yeah.
some work at the Senior Center.
Yeah.
He is somebody who just never hesitates to help out another department. And he's got great ideas. He's born and bred in Londonderry.
Yep.
Oh, which I love too. That's great.
Really an asset to the town.
He really filled Steve Cotton's shoes well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but tough act to follow. Steve
It is
Cotton,
tough.
Steve Smith,
It
Kevin
is.
Smith, Steve, and Dave Wally and you. I mean,
Dave
it's
is
the
definitely
right
doing
fit.
a good job.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
I liked the Did you get a chance to ride in the plow and go live?
No, I haven't done a
Plow ride yet, because it was,
a live stream plow ride yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. I won't have the opportunity in 2022.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put that off until next year.
next year. I love it. I love
Another
it.
thing that's good with him too, how he put it on the Facebook
I was
page.
He did.
thinking that, right?
I mean,
His
you
Facebook
really,
page
that is fantastic.
Took the ground. He hit the ground
because
running with that, and
Yeah.
people appreciated it.
They
so.
really did.
And
A
I
lot
think
of
we
people
saw a
mentioned
decline in
that.
calls to the Public Works Department because of that.
Just keeping people updated and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
right down to
on
the
the
minute,
roads.
it seems.
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the road conditions. You know, somebody else who's really good at social media and Facebook happens to be sitting here, and it's
Yeah.
Kirby.
Shelly.
So, but again, it's the same. It's the
it
same.
is.
It's the same thing, and I think that when people aren't left to wonder, hey, what's going on, or why
Yeah.
hasn't there been a plow by?
Right.
It's the same concept. I think that it
100%.
really helps a lot.
Oh my goodness, Kirby, you
Does.
saved all of us, like senior center.
We were just
town
talking.
clerk,
I have
tax
to get a
collector's
little more
office, so-
clever with my wording. The police department kind of stole the spotlight from us. So their posts are
You're
pretty
talking
funny.
about the horse.
all their posts
Yeah.
are
Oh, I just saw that one
Pretty
the other
clever.
day.
hilarious.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
horses they had to round
Yeah.
up.
Something else that I never thought I would be exposed to was
Yeah.
horses on the loose.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, was your original plan, if you weren't offered town manager, to just continue as assistant solicitor, or?
Yeah, so our town's attorney, Mike Ramsdell, was planning to retire, is still going to retire. The plan was for me to step up and become the town attorney. I love being a lawyer. You know, my father was a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer since I was, like, as long as I can remember. So yeah, that was the plan. You know, other things happened in the meantime. So.
Yeah, that makes sense, but the role suits you very well.
Well, I
really
appreciate you
so.
saying that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yes,
it.
really
and I
does.
think it was easier for all of us to have somebody we had already worked
Very
with,
Right, somebody we
rather
already
than
kind of
somebody new
knew,
coming
yeah.
in and
Yeah.
taking over. And
It's always that unknown that
oh yeah,
you probably could do better than me, but you know, there's that
No.
chance that you might not be able to.
they
Don't
filled
sell
it pretty
yourself
well.
That's a cute way. That's
Yeah.
They filled it pretty well.
a
So,
humble way to say it. I
Yes.
like that.
how have you enjoyed council meetings in the role as acting town manager? I know
Well,
with your reports, you've
yeah,
done a lot
that's a
more
great-
details.
Great
so.
question. Well, and so, yeah, if you haven't seen it, I've been putting a lot of work into doing a written report on sort of what I've been up to every 2 weeks. And that's not only for the council, it's for the public. And I know that people read them because they've told me that. It is a lot of work, but it's sort of helpful it's helpful for me too. It's kind of a checklist of what I have pending and what's going on in the weeks to come. And so that's helped not only prepare myself for the council meeting, but also just be more public about what we're up to. As far as how the council meetings have gone, they're always, you know, I'm always a little nervous going in. You never know what's going to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm comfortable operating in that environment as a litigator, as somebody who, you know,
That's true.
wants to go to court.
Yeah.
But
It is like a courtroom
it's still
sometimes.
it's still intimidating.
Funny.
It's still
Yeah.
intimidating, and I think, you know, going back to that imposter syndrome thing, I think that that was something that I viewed as a weakness. I don't think it is. I think it's a strength. That just that nagging anxiety that kind of pushes you to prepare a little bit harder.
No, that makes sense. But I think people have appreciated the more detailed town manager report.
Transparency, it's the
Right.
word.
Yeah, it is
so
the transparency.
important.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
Are your
Yeah.
reports on the town website?
Yeah, they're in they're posted with the agenda that Kirby puts up before the
Okay.
meeting. The agenda usually goes up on Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And just scroll through. You're gonna have to go. I think the last couple have
It's
been
the last page.
a few
Last-
hundred pages long.
Yeah,
A couple hundred pages.
They're usually not less than 20. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of good
But it
information
is
in
good.
there, right down to, you know, this is what DOT is looking at for this particular road project, or, you know, this is correspondence that we received from some third party. And like I said, it's a good way for us to keep track of what's going
I've
on
found
as
that
well.
there's been less and less questions at meetings because of your report. So,
That's a good thing.
And
It
again,
is a good thing.
That's a real good
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I do welcome the questions. I think that it's nice when you put a lot of work into something to have people read it and ask and
Understand
engage
it.
with it and ask
Yeah.
you questions. But yeah, I mean, if people can go and find the answer right in the materials, that's great too.
yeah. So, what are some up and coming things in the town during your time as acting town manager that you can let the townspeople know about?
Up and coming things. Well, I can tell
Besides
you.
the rabies clinic.
The rabies
Yes.
clinic has already been covered. The water. I think water is
Yeah.
a big one.
You want to talk about the energy committee
Sure.
that we
Yep.
just created as
The
well?
energy committee is looking at a lot of different issues: how to reduce usage, how to reduce costs.
Yeah.
So that's good. The water thing is going to be with us for a while, I think. Not just the PFAS contamination, but also other contaminants like arsenic, and just the availability of water. We had a wet summer last year, but more and more it seems like there's a drought every summer.
Yeah.
And so trying to figure out how to get good, clean water out to people is going to be a challenge. We had an article on the ballot that looked at studying a town-wide water
Yeah.
system. It passed almost 2-1. So what that tells me is that people are interested in this. They're concerned about it, and they want to look at solutions.
And I think everything going on with St. Cobain, people are paying more and more attention,
Absolutely, people are. And
especially people outside of the consent decree area as well.
yeah, that's right.
So-
And I've been impressed by the quality of the questions that we get on water.
Oh yeah.
Sherry, I think you get some. I mean, you get a lot of questions that aren't town clerk related, and you do a great job kind of routing them to where they can be answered. But yeah, people are interested in it. People are well informed about it. But there's work to be done.
Yeah. So what are you most excited to get done in your next 60 days as acting town manager?
Well, that's I'll give you an answer, but but what I found is that I end up then doing something that I didn't anticipate doing.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is something that
Oh, yes.
we have, and it's particularly concerning now with what's going on overseas, the cyber attacks. But just in the time that I've been acting town manager, we've been able to invest a lot in cybersecurity and get really to the next level. There are things that we're going to continue to do to try to
Yep.
secure ourselves even more. But it's important to know it's not just Kirby's files and my files and your files. It's the public's financial information.
Right.
People's
It's,
personal
people's
information.
personal
Right.
information, and so. It's really important that we invest in that and that we keep that information under lock and key.
Yeah, definitely.
And our IT department has done a good job at that as well. I
Absolutely.
have to give Tom
Yeah,
and
Tom.
Doug a shout out right here.
Absolutely.
Because they've done
Not
good.
easy.
So what are some other things you want the voters to know about you?
Well,
The man behind the curtain.
tell us about yourself, right? That's
Tell us about
Yeah.
yourself.
Tell us
Tell
about
us about
yourself.
There
yourself
you
question.
go.
Yeah.
I was raised in Andover, Mass. I've been in, my wife and I live in Pelham since 2016. I went to Merrimack College, UNH School of Law, and like I said, we're dog lovers.
Oh, yes.
We spend almost every weekend out hiking, walking with our dogs.
And what kind of dogs do you have?
So they're Korean Jindos. They are almost pure white. They look like German Shepherds. There was a rumor going around town hall that I had black labs, sort of the opposite.
I started the rumor.
Not sure where that rumor came from, but that was being circulated by Kirby.
I was colorblind one day. I don't know.
But we
like,
have a
yeah.
lot of fun with the dogs, and
And a lot of people don't know, but town hall is dog friendly, correct?
we
As
have,
long as the
little
dog
biscuits
is
and
yep
treats.
on the leash. Biscuits and treats on both levels.
under control.
Under
Dogs
control,
under
under
control.
control.
Yeah.
Under control.
Yes,
is
but a
right.
lot of people don't know that. I mean, that's not an invitation for people to bring their dogs in every day, but you know.
I didn't know. I just learned
Gonna be
that.
Petco next. Gonna be Petco. So yeah, very
goodness.
cool.
Yeah.
What other questions do you ladies have?
Well, now that you've been a part of the town really for 4 years, what would be some of the, if you like, your long-term goals as a future town manager? that
Stay
you
town
might-
manager.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so I've mentioned a couple. One is just that transparency thing that I've talked about. Two is really getting that water
Perfect,
situation
yeah.
under control.
maybe with our senior center or our youth, anything like that.
Yeah, so
Oh,
so
thank
so
you.
one thing I so one thing I will say, and I'm hesitant to hit the third rail here on the Londonderry View, but taxes.
Yeah.
I think that everybody recognizes that, especially for some of our seniors in this market, it's getting difficult to
Stay
pay
in
the
their-
tax bill
And stay in their
uh,
home.
and,
stay.
and stay in the home. And so there's a lot of different reasons for that, and there's a lot of different solutions. But I think that trying to strike the right balance, right, is important. One of the reasons why a lot of seniors' tax bills and other residential users' tax bills have gone up so much recently is because where residential has gone up so significantly, commercial's gone up, but it hasn't gone up that much. And so more of that tax burden is being borne by regular folks who own houses. And so that's why you hear the council talk so much about economic development, commercial and industrial development, because we
To
want
take
to
that
try to
burden
take
off
that
of-
burden
yeah.
off of residential.
Yep.
That comes with its whole own set of issues, right? And so
does.
that's the balance. We want to make sure that, yes, we have growth, but we have smart growth. That we don't just let
Very well
everything
put,
go up in a neighborhood, for instance. That we make sure that the infrastructure that goes along is built as well. That water, sewer are also paid attention to. But that's, gosh, if I could solve that problem, that would be pretty significant.
Yeah, right? Very nice. Well, do you have any closing remarks for people that we should?
No, well, I guess I would just say, reach out. If
Don't be afraid.
people seem to find their way to my office or to my phone,
You have an open door policy. which
yeah,
we
which is
appreciate.
great.
Yes.
It's good considering it was right off the bat that way too.
Yeah,
I mean, we were very careful about scheduling meetings and stuff until you got comfortable in the role.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not, I mean, I can't promise that I'll always get back to you the same
Yeah.
day or the next day. I might need a couple of days, given that volume of information
Right.
that comes across my desk. But I do want to talk to people. I do make it a policy to return my calls, to email people back and to meet with them if they want to. And so I do think that that's important.
And I think that's something Kevin set in place, and I think people appreciate the fact that you've kept it that way. So.
Absolutely.
And I like you getting involved with some of the fun things too, like the Old
Old
Home
Home
Day.
Day.
meeting, and You already had some great ideas. You were thinking about all that. Late at night, early in the morning. I mean, and that's so important to the community too, because that's
It's going to
what
be
brings
all
us
you think
all
about as
together.
August gets closer.
That's the,
Gets
And the
closer,
senior
that's
That's right.
center with
Breathe and
Kathy
sleep,
Bonnie.
Old Home Day until
Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of neat part of the job is
Yeah.
there was none of that as a lawyer or
Right,
as a
yeah.
prosecutor. And
Kind
so
of
it's
an
nice
island.
to be able to kind of step into those areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a fun event.
Yeah, the fun areas.
We have a blast.
And then
Yeah,
concert
you have
on
to have the
con-
fun
Yeah.
areas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do that. And concert
Yeah.
on the Common is big. That'll be starting up soon, and that's always a
It
great
does
place
give
to
you a
go.
different view
Yeah.
into the other things that go on in town.
The other thing I'll mention as a challenge, just to come back to it, is we have some department heads who are going to be retiring over the next
Big department.
big department heads. So that's police, I think, in the next year or two, fire,
Yes.
potentially, but also senior affairs. And
Yes,
those are going to
Kathy.
be big shoes to fill.
Thank you.
Here.
And it's
Yeah.
only
We
been.
can't even imagine that it's here, getting.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
more worried about filling your spot here.
I don't think anybody can fill my spot.
First
here.
things first,
That's
right?
why I
First
said
things
we're
first
going
is
to
the
zoom
view.
you in for the next 2 or 3
Oh,
years.
100%.
You'll be up on the blue screen.
Yeah. Yeah, with the palm
I
trees
guess
in
we
the
can do that
background.
right
Yeah,
now.
we
can
can.
do that.
Absolutely, no one can
But it's been a pleasure to work with you, Kathy, and
Thank you. It's
Wish
been
you-
a pleasure
wish
to
you the
work
best.
with you.
Yes,
Thank
mom. Work mom.
You. Yeah, she's my work daughter.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate you coming on and being open.
thanks
and
for having me.
introducing yourself.
I guess I survived. You
did.
guys
You did. You
took
were
it
a
easy
little-
on me,
yeah.
a little shaky. but-
Next time, not so much.
Fair warning.
Don't, yeah. So, and we appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and thank you for
Yeah,
all you
thank-
have already
you.
done.
And stepping up into the role,
Yeah, absolutely.
not leaving us all stranded. So,
I'm happy to be here.
yes. So, and our next show is
Yeah,
show
absolutely.
61.
61, hard to believe. So it's an honor that you're here with us on our 60th too, because it really has been
That's
a
a big
special
deal.
journey for us too. It was
it
kind
sure
of an
has.
idea that just kind of, like so many
Blossomed.
things, like when you said in the beginning that you never would have guessed that this would be the role that you're in.
It's a
and
big
we all
occasion.
kind of, Kathy is.
I feel like we should have
senior,
balloons and
Usually those are the best things that happen to you in life, or the things
Absolutely.
you aren't planning for.
That is
Right.
And
so
then all of
true.
a sudden the door opens and you
Yep.
understand why you're there.
We
so.
should have a view float. an Old Home Day
Oh,
this
we
year.
really should.
Yes.
Oh,
To
you
kind of
very-
celebrate Kathy's last.
I love it.
I
As
think
I said, I would fly back to help
You
out
will-
with Old Home Day.
Oh,
I will pay
love
for your
that
flight.
idea.
and you will
Oh,
stay.
you guys all heard that. It's my
we
flight,
will.
right?
We
Everybody
will.
heard
Sounds
it.
like a binding contract.
It
to me.
is.
Yeah.
I will put it in
I think
writing.
that's a great
and we will do a
idea,
view
Kirby.
float.
That really is, you know.
float.
But Mike, we can't thank you enough.
Thank you,
Yes.
Sherry.
know, how much
Thank
it
you,
means to us
everybody.
that you're here.
Thank you for coming.
Yep.
on.
Yeah, really. Thank
And
you
Rabies
so much.
Clinic, don't forget.
And Rabies Clinic,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
All
All
right.
right, so we're ready to say goodnight.
Yeah.
And we
We
thank
usually cheers our water.
Yeah,
Well,
cheers.
cheers.
Good night.
Right.
Good night, everyone. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much.
Good
See
night.
you soon.